Good day, dear audience of the 15 minutes of Leo Pruimboom every week. And today it's about the need that we, people working in medicine, in paramedicine, treating a lot of people with all kinds of diseases, but also helping in economy to find out why people become ill. It is time to Darwinize that medicine, that paramedicine, because we are stuck. We are stuck in the treatment of people with cancer. We have stuck in the treatment of people with autoimmune diseases. We are stuck in the people suffering from depression and neurodegenerative diseases. In 2021, it is weird that we still think, because we don't know, we think, we believe that an immense number of diseases are not curable, like Alzheimer, like multiple sclerosis, like Parkinson, but that's only a belief. And that is weird, that if we, as scientists, and if medicine is science, then we should not base our conclusions on beliefs, not on thoughts, only on knowledge. And very often people have attacked me that I would not use knowledge, but only hypothesis to support the psycho, neuro, endocrino, socio, point immunology. But to be very honest, I do not agree at all with that. Because if we look to a disease like multiple sclerosis, and we look at those patients and understand the photo of such a disease, then we can develop a film of that photo. When you then see that multiple sclerosis is related with meat allergy, when it's related with the activity of an enzyme activated by bacteria in people suffering from periodontal disease, when we see that all those risk factors give a perfect explanation for the development of multiple sclerosis or another neurodegenerative diseases which could hold other risk factors, it's about time that we treat those risk factors, and that we not only use one line of evidence. You cannot use one line of evidence when we talk about such complex diseases. You cannot talk about the cause. You can only talk about a number of risk factors which activates certain mechanisms, and those mechanisms explain how a disease develops. And it's incredible that in 2021 we still only treat the last step in that film. So it's very important that we understand the proximal pathways of all diseases. That we say, okay, multiple sclerosis is a disease based on hyperactivity of the Th1 and Th17 component of our beautiful immune system, and we give, when necessary, we give immune suppressive interventions, which could be a quick win. But how come that we finish there? How come that it is possible that if you suffer cancer and you suffer skin cancer, we all agree that one of the risk factors is burning your skin by sun radiation. Be careful, I have not said that the sun produces skin cancer, it's the burning effect of solar radiation. We all agree with that. We also agree that lung cancer, the most important cause is smoking. We all agree on that. And the next step is, okay, then you have lung cancer, you have skin cancer, you stop smoking, but cancer doesn't disappear with that. It improves incredibly, but improves. But it is a tunnel vision. There is much more than smoking, because if people smoke, why then, and that's the cause of lung cancer, then everybody who smokes should have lung cancer. It's not enough. You have to think further. And if there is solar radiation causing cancer, then I and my kids, we live in Lanzarote. My wife is Spanish. How come that we have a lack? There is a lack of skin cancer associated with sunshine around the equator. You say obviously, that's because that are black-skinned people. One moment, there are also white-skinned people there, and they also have a lower risk on cancer as expected because of the sun. So it is about time that we convert medicine and paramedicine in really epistemology. Epistemology, the knowledge, the science of knowledge. It's about time that we stop thinking, that we stop believing, and that we use all the lines of evidence to conclude things. Not only a blood test can give final conclusions. And you know what is weird? How fast we make decisions of such incredible difficult things like political decisions and business decisions. We use very often only 2 points of view. And in all levels of society, you see that decision making, the most important thing in human life, is very often done only based on very few items. So not 20 lines of evidence, but even only 1 line of evidence. If you, I would ask you, where would you go on holidays this summer, to Mallorca or Lanzarote? And I would give you some information about those two goals, those 2 possible destinies for this holiday period. I would say your hotel room in Mallorca costs 60 euros and your room in Lanzarote 80. In Mallorca, everything is included. In Lanzarote, not. In Mallorca, the average temperature is 34 degrees. In Lanzarote, 28. Mallorca is COVID poor and Lanzarote is COVID free. Probably, having given only 4 comparative items, you probably already made your decision. And that's where things go wrong. Humans have the tendency to reach their so-called decision satiety level much too early. We make decisions based on a very poor number of known things. And that is happening in politics, it's happening in business, it's happening in medical science. And the only old, very old science, where this is not done, that's philosophy. And if you look to science, to medical science, to business, we have an incredible lack of philosophers. People developing new ideas, but based not on mythology, no, based on hard facts. And that's what I'm talking about. If I, for instance, would have to do an analysis of a certain company, and they ask me, can you help us becoming a healthy, successful, productive company? I would say, what do you expect from me? For instance, they would say, I would like to increase the vitality of my employees. And then they probably suppose that I would start with things like furniture, like food, like exercise. But that are only 3 lines of evidence. I probably would start to think, to ask about the organizational chaos or order. Do you treat your employees well? And then they would say, yeah, we pay them well. And I would say, no, it's not only by financial reward, it's much more than that. And I would ask, and how is the light circumstances? And what is the support at home? And I would not stop. And probably I would reach a number of 24 basic needs, which are responsible for the development of motives. And you know, one of the most important things being successful is one word, and that's motivation. And that word motivation is very badly defined. That is not something you think, it's not something you feel, because what you feel is conscious and what you think is also consciousness. It's not that you prepare, for instance, the future of your kids by opening a bank account and where you put money on their account, so then when they are 18 they can start studying. No, motivation, it's something innate. It is a big part is pure biology, and the other part, that biology, you activate that by challenges. And that is what I would ask to a patient, to a business, to a CEO, to a politician, on which needs you motivate your decisions. And then people come to the conclusion that the majority of decision making is based on very superficial knowledge. It's not deep knowledge. It is not about really knowing. Because look at look at this thing, this pandemic thing. It's a huge problem in which the majority of decisions have been made not by knowing, no, by believing, by supposing. And if you accept that, I accept it because we are not perfect, then you also have to believe in UFOs. Because unidentified flying objects, we have seen them all. But is that knowledge? Is that epistemology? Or is that only belief or think? Hey, that's a conflict, that's a debate. We can debate, we can do that. But I would like to finalize today is, let's, all of us, if we want to help our patients, let's open up our mind and use all the lines of evidence to give a worthful prognosis and an analysis for people who today think that they are not curable. That's based on tunnel vision, and to be very honest, It is very far away from the truth. Thank you very much.